So we have had a great time these past couple weeks eating our way through the food truck scene in New Haven, but this week I want something a little different. I want to get out of the city and explore what else this great state has to offer. Let's go on a road trip. Our trip starts in Milford, where we visit two unique trucks selling off-the-chart food in the most unlikely of places. So my first stop is at the Milford Train Station, where I hear between the commuters and the trains there is some killer Italian food. The Got Chef truck serves gourmet lunch and dinner to hungry commuters every day. The truck was started by restaurant vet Chef Biagio, owner of Biagio's Osteria in Stratford, which has been named the #1 Italian restaurant in the entire state. He wanted to take his concept of simple but well-made Italian food on the road. Trained chefs Matt and Michael, who run the truck, say that going to Got Chefs is a very unique experience.
I don't think there's any other food cart around, especially in Connecticut like this, where you can get a gourmet meal with everything cooked on the truck, fresh as can be. Very unique.
They also say that being parked at the train station is no accident.
Here you can get off the train, get your family some food on the way home. You don't feel like cooking maybe, or you're working, you want to come pick up a little gourmet, something a little different than McDonald's, or something a little
it's definitely a lot better for you too.
And the customers agree. This woman came down to the truck to get lunch for her entire office.
This is the second time here. We came before, I want to say last week, and I got the one that's the pork wrap, and it was amazing. Wonderful food. And this is just such a good idea. And the food is amazing, and it's so reasonably priced for what it is. I don't know how you can go wrong.
All this talk is making me hungry. And while the chefs prepare my lunch, they've invited me to come inside the truck to get the behind-the-scenes view. Out of this compact kitchen, Matt and Michael crank out more than a dozen Italian specialties, from paninis to wraps to pasta. I am already loving this truck, the fresh food, the smell of garlic and basil wafting through the kitchen, when I notice this stuck on their register. Okay, my food's almost ready to go, so I'm going to get out of their hair and find a shady spot to do some tasting. This is a caprese panini with some firm fresh tomatoes on some nice Italian bread with some arugula, and I'm going to take a little taste here. It's really good, very hearty, very fresh, very flavorful, so you have to come down to the Milford Train Station, try it yourself. It's not a far drive to get to our next stop, Boudan Barbecue, which is parked in front of a certain sports depot in Milford. Chef owner Dan Halpin has been cooking in restaurants across Connecticut for 20 years, but says he fell in love with barbecue and thought that a food truck would be the perfect place to share his passion.
Pulled pork sandwiches in plates, barbecue baby back ribs. We're also doing pulled chicken. It's just old school. The type of woods I burn: oak, hickory, and maple. Usually a 12-hour cook. So it's something you can't rush. And it's just, I'm just very passionate about it.
Although it's only been open a couple of weeks, Boudan is already growing a dedicated fan base.
It was great the first time, I'm sure it's going to be great the second time.
All this food looks delicious, but I have a schedule to keep up, and I gotta make one last stop before I end this road trip. To end this road trip, I am here at the Orange Volunteer Firefighters Carnival. But I'm not here for some terrible corn or to ride some rides. I am here to find Russ Arpaia, who owns Firedogs, a gourmet food truck that serves up only the best hot dogs to the New Haven area. While Firedogs usually parks in New Haven, I caught up with them at this Firefighters Carnival in Orange, a fitting parking spot given that Russ is also a volunteer fireman. He explains what makes his dog simply the best.
First of all, we use top quality. I use some hot dogs. It's an all-beef hot dog, and all the food we use top-notch. The sausage, I use Lamberti sausage out of New Haven. I try to buy vegetables locally, and everything's fresh cooked. Yeah, well, like today, for instance, we have maybe 6 or 8 different hot dogs. Probably my #1 seller tonight will be the Dream Dog. That's a hot dog topped with barbecue pulled pork, and people love it. We do a Chicago dog. We do a Carolina dog. We have the Bostonian, a hot dog topped with baked beans and red onions.
But you don't have to take his word for how delicious the dogs are. I talked to a few of his loyal customers.
I got the bacon cheese dog. Oh yeah, good stuff.
I got a June dog, which is pretty much a hot dog and pork. Oh, good. Oh man, I can write a story about this one.
So we had a great time on our road trip today and tried some of the best food we've had on this series yet, but I'm really tired, I'm kind of full, so I'm going to take a vacation for a couple weeks, but I will be back soon with more food trucks, and if you know of any place we should visit, send me an email, the address is right down there, and have a good week, and bon appetit!